So now I want to talk about seeding, which is really one of my favorite topics. And we're going to look over the secret of soft selling. Like many of you, selling is hard. So seeding just makes it easier. So you see, seeding is a powerful tool that can be used to create a desire for your product or service in a way that is gently and discreet and doesn't sound like you're selling them on anything. See, the goal of seeding is that by the time you're making your offer, your audience know it's coming and they'll be eager to find out more information about your product or service. And if it's done well, they won't even notice that you've been seeding the whole time. See, seeding is a very, very simple technique that you can easily incorporate into your marketing. See, the process of seeding allows you to give your customers something of value, such as information that would benefit them, while at the same time, you're casually mentioning or seeding stories about your product or service that really demonstrate to them how it would help them and in their lives. So the power of seeding is that you don't have to feel uncomfortable hard selling or even sounding salesy, which I'm sure you probably don't like if you've ever had to do any sales. So it's easy and it's an easy process of persuasion and having to push to close a sale in the end. Instead, you're actually hinting your offer all along in a way that generates intrigue by letting customers know how you can help them. So you're soft selling, not hard selling. You're serving them, not simply selling them. You see, your product or services can make a difference in their life after all. So seeding lets you focus on that. Whether you're creating an email marketing campaign, a webinar, a presentation, or any other form of marketing where you're teaching something about your product or services, you can use seeding into what you share. So you're probably wondering by now, so what is seeding? See, seeds are stories or examples that you share that relate to one of your customers' needs, fears, or false belief systems, and demonstrate how your product or services will help with that problem. So the key is that your message is subtle. It creates curiosity and makes them want to know more about how what you have can solve their problems. You see, you're planting the seed that what you have to offer will help them in some way or another. It will grow as you continue and educate them throughout the process. And you will harvest seeds that when you get to the end of your marketing process and have the offer that your audience is now eagerly waiting for, they will want to know more, which is the benefit of seeding. So you're probably wondering right now, so how do I seed? What do I have to do? So I'm going to give you 3 methods for incorporating seeding into your marketing. Again, very simple methods that you can incorporate right away. And the first one is to share your journey, share your story. See, there's a good chance that whatever product or service that you offer came about in part because you needed it yourself. If this is the case for you, you can tell a story that ties the product or service you will be offering at the end of your marketing campaign back into your life journey. You can share some of your own challenges and vulnerabilities and show how your product or services made a difference in your life, which again then gives more credibility to the product or service. This works especially well if you've experienced the same problem, fears, or needs that your customers experience, because then they can understand that you're speaking their language. You know their pain. So sharing how you felt, which is how they feel, and telling them your story of how you overcame makes your audience feel connected to you. It builds bond. And while you're developing that rapport, you're seeding by mentioning your product and illustrating how effective it truly is. See, at this point, you're not getting into details about your product or service or what it even does. You're just mentioning it and talking about the results it got you. You get to show them that what they want is actually possible in their lives, which makes them interested to find out how they can experience the same transformation that you experience in your life. So as your marketing process continues, what you can do is that you can continue to share additional ways and the different aspects of your product or services have impacted your life. So that way it seeds for them to think how it may impact their life. Remember, you're not trying to sell them. You're just sharing your journey, and your product and services just happens to be part of your journey to transformation. So I want to give you a quick example because this is something that we use in our marketing. And we generally share our story because we want people to know that we have been there before and that it's possible to create the life that they want. So the example from our own marketing is specific on life coaches because we work a lot with life coaches. So we offer a variety of training programs, including of how to develop a successful life coaching business. So in some of our marketing, we have told a story about our journey building our life coaching business. We talk about how we truly wanted to make a difference, but that we were struggling to find enough clients. We tell them about that aha moment that we had when we created a program that offered very specific results for very specific people, which were for want to be entrepreneurs. And all of a sudden, we had a rush of clients. And we pointed out that the secret we discovered was that we've been making the mistake of trying to coach everyone, trying to help everyone. And what we learned was what we needed to narrow down our focus in our coaching. We needed to have a niche. So we go on to elaborate about the difference that it made and then explain that because focusing on our coaching niche that was meaningful for us transformed our coaching business. And we are passionate about sharing what we learned with other coaches. At the same time, it also transformed our lives because we're doing what our purpose was. We're doing what we love to do. So to help them avoid the struggles we experience, we share that information. This, of course, this course that we share is the Purpose-Driven Coaching Niche course, which we created just for that. Then throughout the rest of the marketing campaign, we would continue to elaborate on the problem the audience experiences, why this new way of doing businesses as a coach is the answer. But we already mentioned that we have a program that helps them with that. And of course, at the end, we tell them more about our program and make our offer for them to sign up for the program. So again, we don't just focus on our program, we focus on the pain that we experienced and how we were able to find results through what we did and then how we want to share it. Number 2 is share client results. So instead of or addition to sharing your own experience, you can share the experience of your customers or client. This is why you see testimonials and case studies so much in marketing because it works, which we get into more in the social proof video. The best way to share about the results your product or services gets for your customers is to share case studies, which means to tell their story just like you would tell your own story. So for instance, if your email campaign, you can mention one of your clients who experienced amazing results because of your product or service. Talk about the problem that they experienced and how it made a difference in their life. See, doing this will plant seeds that they can experience these same results and even increase the impact of the story by asking your audience to imagine the difference it would make in their life if they had these specific results. So using the same example that I just gave you about our niche coaching program, we would talk about the importance of niche coaching, for example, in an email, and provide useful tips. Then we would mention how we received an email from one of our clients who told us a story of how they felt stuck as a coach, unable to make enough to transition full-time to being a full-time coach, and have been trying to decide what type of clients she really wanted to work with. She could see how focusing on a narrow group would get her enough clients, but she had met other coaches who were in a narrow niche and seemed to be doing better than she was. So she was willing to give it a shot. She had come across our course, and after taking it, she was finally able to clearly see her own unique outcome that she could offer. She felt motivated and excited about finally being able to work with clients she really loved and who she knew she could really help. So using that story as a launching point, we would let our audience know that we understand how difficult it can be to find your right niche. Reiterate why it's so important, and then present valuable insight that would help them begin to identify their niche. So of course, the main goal to be seeding why they need to find their niche while giving them just a taste of what they can learn from us about the process by actually taking the course. See, here's a big key. When we would present the insights, we'd mention that the full process for identifying a profitable, purpose-driven niche is more complex than we had time for to go into this email. We wanted to share with them some of the most important keys to consider to help them get started. But again, we promise to let them know how they can find out more about the process at the end of the email. This way, they already know that going to talk about your product or services at the end. So it doesn't come out, oh, they're trying to sell me. They already know they're expecting it. So you're being upfront with them, which reduces the tension for you and makes it feel more transparent when they get to that point. So doing this near the beginning of your campaign or presentation is ideal because, again, it takes pressure off of them and it takes pressure off of you. Number 3 is ease the overwhelm. See, this form of seeding is one that you can use to lead an offer near at the end of your campaign. This is where you can tell your audience that you understand that it can seem overwhelming because it seems hard, like a lot of information or a lot of work. Tell them not to worry because you're figured it out. You have created a system, a template, a course, service, or whatever it is that you're offering that gives them a short step-by-step process. Holds their hand through that process, makes it easy, saves them time, saves them money, or otherwise solves their problem. Then let them know that you will show them how to get access to the shortcut. You'll give them the answer. You'll walk them through it, and you'll tell them how you can help them. And this is when you begin to tell them about your product or service and make your offer. Again, that's part of your seeding process. See, in the niche coaching example, the next thing that we would do is talk about how we understand how overwhelming and frustrating it can be for a new coach when they don't know how to identify a niche that they'd be good at and that they would make a great living at, that they would be passionate about, that they would love to actually do. We would tell them that through the trial and errors, we took the insights we had learned and created a thriving coaching business, that it worked so well that we ended up coaching other coaches to discover their own niche. Through this process, we created a step-by-step system that will walk coaches through the process of identifying a coaching niche that fits their passion and experience. And it's a profitable market, which it's easy to find clients in because it is your purpose-driven niche. Then we would either transition into the close and tell them about our program, or if it wasn't time yet, we would let them know that we promised to tell them more after, at the end of the email or in another follow-up email, or even if it's a webinar at the end of the webinar. So as you can see, seeding is meant to be simple, gentle process of letting people know that you have something that can help them, while at the same time providing true value with the information that you're sharing. You give them enough value during the process that they feel that you have helped them, and even with just your marketing, that they clearly see the value you have to offer, and that they can trust you. But you left just enough of the secrets out of your marketing that they feel hungry to know more about your services or about your products. See, the seeds have been planted, both about the difference your product or service makes and that they enjoy doing business with you. And so when it comes time to make you your offer, all the hard parts already done for you. If they've made it this far, they've already interested because they know that you're going to offer them something. Now you just need to tell them how you can help them by doing the actual offer. And you'll find that many of the email marketing techniques, the psychological principles that we talk about throughout this course fits into this concept of seeding. It's a powerful marketing process that few people teach or even few people understand, and that we know has made a huge, huge difference in our own business. Now you have the tools to apply to yours. So we hope that you do, because again, many of us don't like selling. So you take the selling out of it because you're providing value, and then you're providing a way for them to actually take advantage of what you have to offer so it can also transform their life. Hope that helps.